Gotta go something, everyone. It's Deep Dive Zone, a Sonic review series for fans of all shapes and sizes. I'm your host, Evan, joined as always by my comrades Lauren and Bruce, and today we are done with video games for a while.
That's so nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Comics are always the least stressful thing for us to review, it feels like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, we're combining the least stressful thing with the most stressful thing it feels like we've reviewed, Sonic X.
God, we're back.
It's a weird choice. Like, they made a new continuity just for a new show. That makes sense.
Right.
But then they're like, hey, let's use this continuity in comics too? What?
It is interesting, especially to see American comics adapting Sonic X. Well, not adapting. I have questions about this version of Sonic X's continuity, but we'll get to that.
I read these with the question of, like, can I say that these are canon? No, I don't think you can.
I don't think so, yeah.
I'm not gonna like drag that out and be like, well, maybe. It's like, no. But yes, the Archie comics adaptation of Sonic X, which is a weird sentence to say. I feel like most people don't even know these exist a lot of the time.
I did.
To be honest, I didn't know they existed until we were like initially talking about doing this podcast.
There are some meme panels that probably get passed around, but I think people probably just assume that those are from the main Archie timeline, even if they've got Chris in them.
It wouldn't surprise me to see, or it wouldn't have surprised me to see Archie eventually just bring Chris in, being how popular X was over here.
Yeah. And true to form, you know, as much as people don't know these exist, these weren't meant to exist in the form that they do. These started in 2005, and they were originally just meant to be a 4-issue miniseries to promote the third core of the show, because it started around the space arc.
Yeah.
Instead, they were positively received, which is interesting for the first 4 issues of this that are...
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about it. They're not the worst thing that they could be, but
No.
that ended up extending this thing to 10 times that at 40 issues. It ran until 2008.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So yeah, and you know, as much as we say, oh, you know, I don't think this could be canon, it's not like the Sonic X continuity is going anywhere these days, so who cares?
Nah.
Well, I assumed that Sonic X, you know, not the entirety of Sonic X, because this starts before Sonic like leaves Earth. But I assumed that up until a certain point of Sonic X was canon to these comics, but not vice versa.
That's kind of what my assumption is. There's like,
I mean,
because there's things that
it
clearly
directly
must
references
happen,
events
but-
from the show sometimes.
Right. Well, and then we'll see just in these 5 issues, Angel Island is just here.
We'll get to
So this, yeah.
As for right now, let's start with Sonic X #1, first issue, and look at that cover. It sure is Sonic.
I can't tell. At least this week's covers, they look like they could just be screenshots from the show.
They're not. They're drawn by Spaziant.
Oh.
He's just really
Oh.
good at
I always forget how good Spaziant is at mimicking like official arts.
Yeah, that had me completely fooled. I thought
Yeah.
these were not screenshots, but like traced pieces that were
Maybe
reassembled.
traced or like, yeah, or maybe you gone from like animation cells. That's interesting to learn that they are original.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can see the Spaz signature right on Sonic's foot there, but
I didn't notice that until just now, actually. I didn't look too hard at these covers.
it's alright. But we're starting with our first story of the bunch, which is called Savings and Groan. Is that a pun? I don't get what the joke is.
Savings and loan.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Alright. But it
Oh,
is written by Joe Edkin,
yeah.
who writes a lot of these, and the art was done by Tim Smith III, who we previously saw like one story from on the Archie series.
Which story? Because I don't remember this art.
It was the one during the so like during that arc where they went like underground and there was like a nuke and that golden gamma called Isaac.
Oh,
there was
right.
There was a Tails story in there where he got really annoyed that nobody told him what the Chosen One shit was, and like Aether appeared to him and said, "You are the Chosen One," and he just disappeared, and it pissed him off more.
Yeah, okay, I remember that.
That was Tim Smith.
Interesting. This art is odd though, because like
It's
not
all
very
over the
good.
place.
It's not particularly great, but it's certainly passable most of the time.
It's not horribly unpleasant, but it is weird looking.
No. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's kind of off, but it's not bad.
Anyway, in this story, Eggman tries to steal a bunch of money.
Yeah.
That's
You didn't have your summary ready, did you?
no, that actually is my summary.
Wow,
It's
well, great
more or less
summary.
what happens.
Okay, so we start off with some narration explaining the premise of Sonic X over a visual of Sonic racing Sam Speed. And when I first thought this, because I didn't know much about these comics, I was like, oh well, if they're just recreating episodes of the show, I don't see the point. That's not what this is.
Yeah.
But
Clearly not, yeah.
No, I can see why you would think that at first, but no.
no, and instead it is pretty similar to the show. It looks like the race even ends in a similar location, if I recall correctly.
I think so.
I must say I like some of the dialogue in these comics.
Yeah.
I like that Sonic is apparently, it seems to be, at least maybe he's like putting on an act, but he seems to be losing at first. And Amy is like, quick, Tails, throw him a ring so that he can speed up. And then Creep's like, nah, that'd be cheating. Then flash to Sonic, who's like, man,
Amy
sure
would be
wish I had a
upset
ring
if-
right now.
Yeah, Amy would be upset if I cheated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dialogue is not bad. It's pretty solid.
It's all right. Yeah, for the jokey comedic dialogue. Honestly, Sonic X might be better as a comic, just as a premise. It might be better
Maybe.
for the usual comic hijinks. But
Yeah, maybe.
Sonic wins in 3 pages, and neither of them cheat. So I guess that's what
Right.
differs it from the show, because Sam was cheating like a bitch that whole show.
It's a surprise
Yeah.
to see it took Sonic that long to win.
He had to pour on the speed.
That's true.
But everyone cheers, and Sam laments his loss, and he's like, I need another, even faster car.
Yeah.
But yeah, usual Sonic characters' reactions, Amy jumping
Sure.
on Sonic, Chuck being like, let's go home, Ella said she's gonna make us food. But who cares about any of that? Let's get to Dr. Eggman. We had a real Eggman shortage the last couple episodes. We didn't mention that he's just not in Black Knight at all, not even a fake Eggman.
It
didn't
didn't
even
even
notice.
dawn on. Yeah, it didn't even dawn on me that we didn't get like a version of Eggman.
Which is weird, because
That
we
is
love
tragic,
Eggman.
though.
Yeah, personally, I would have made the Dark Knight Eggman. That wouldn't make any sense, but that would be funny.
I think they just
Sonic
couldn't have...
kills Eggman.
Exactly, they
versus
couldn't have him
Eggman.
kill him.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But they could have rewritten... Oh, whatever. Anyway, yes, so you can tell it's not canon because Eggman is in his island fortress, which doesn't make... That thing gets blown up in episode 12.
Yeah.
Oh
which,
yeah, I
like-
guess you're right, but
Well, I
some
guess, yeah,
parts
huh.
are. It's like a modified version of the show is canon. I
Yeah, that's got to be the case.
Must be. Anyway, Deco's head looks like a hot dog here.
I finally, I think it's. Oh no, never mind. I have something else to say when it's coming up. Yeah, his head is really long. I don't remember it being this long in the show.
guess. This is definitely a detail I would expect to vary at different points.
Sure, yeah.
The length of Deco's head, yeah.
Well, it's like it's an easy mistake, and I don't mind it. Honestly, it's kind of comedic.
Yeah. But Eggman is lamenting that he's low on funds to build killer robots, and nobody will give him materials without paying. Which I
love that
thought...
Eggman can't understand the concept of money.
Yeah, I thought this was just Eggman being entitled. Because
No, he's fair.
it's a very... I guess it's a very Sonic the Comic Eggman thing to do, to expect, like, people to
Yeah.
give him all their stuff without even asking. But no, he's just now being introduced to the concept of currency.
I like this. This is great.
I love that. As hyper genius as he is, even Eggman can't understand the concept of capitalism.
Well,
I
so
mean, it is a bizarre concept.
It is,
Huh.
yeah.
it is
And I
interesting.
mean-
'Cause on the one hand, we know Sega likes to shy away from depicting currency in the series, and Eggman knows nothing about Earth. On the other hand, he's met the
Right.
Chaotix, who are canonically always behind on their rent.
True.
I imagine that some parts of Sonic's world might use money and some parts don't. But regardless of that, I interpreted this as, I mean, the point Eggman is really making here is like, why are they caring about these little pieces of paper so much? Because I
Yeah.
figured in Sonic's world they use rings, which actually do have inherent value, unlike
Sure.
money.
Well, especially in Sonic X, where they give at least Sonic power, but I have questions about rings in that this comic will bring up shortly.
Yeah. Later, I have a definite comment on
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it may be that Eggman understands exchange, but maybe not, yeah, currency. It's like he's used to markets based on just trade.
Right.
Right.
I do like though here it's comedic, but wow, the comic is actually acknowledging like, wait, how does Eggman get all of the materials for his robots? Like they're actually touching on that. That's pretty good. That's a good premise.
That is a good premise. That's something that doesn't really get mentioned.
No, I mean the defense contractor thing is mostly an assumption on our part.
Yeah. Well,
And
it
it
really
doesn't-
only works in Sonic's world anyway, or really
yeah,
in the
it
main
doesn't
universe.
doesn't make sense for X.
Yeah.
And I like that his strategy here is Deco, Boko, go rob an ATM.
Before you actually understand how an ATM works.
Yes. And they get harassed by this cop who is intentionally doing an Irish accent because he's going to practice for a play, except the play is Death of a Salesman. I've never seen it. Is anybody in that
Neither
play
have
Irish?
No clue. I've heard of it, never seen.
I looked it up on Wikipedia. It said everything in that play takes place in Brooklyn.
Oh, there could still be Irish. It depends on when in Brooklyn it takes.
I guess this is where my cultural knowledge fails me.
Is it a well, I don't actually know where X is supposed to take place in the world, so I can't really transition very nicely here.
mean-
But is there somewhere where it would be normal for like strange robots to be walking around the city and people just wouldn't mind at all? Is that a part of some culture? Like weird creatures roaming about? Because the officer doesn't care about Deco Boko until they start trying to steal stuff. Like they don't even bat an eye.
I feel like that's not far off from something the show would do. I actually don't remember if Eggman ever just sent them out to do random bullshit in the show.
I
guess if Sonic's friends and Sonic are around, I mean, they're pretty different than like Sonic and their friends, but I guess they're like, well, there's weird creatures from another world. I guess robots are normal too.
Yeah, because at this
wander
point,
around.
they've it's already pretty clear that at this point Sonic and friends are public knowledge. So
the
that
robot
wouldn't be that
teacher
strange
episode would
anymore.
definitely have happened at this point. Everybody just immediately
Yeah.
accepts him. So
Yeah.
anywho, we get some narration explaining Chris's home life because it's all that stuff, and this sequence is really weird because his parents are home for once, but Ella and Tanaka act like Chris is in some kind of danger when they're revealing this. They're like, thank goodness you're home. You have to get inside right away. Why? What's wrong? It's just that your parents are home. Why is that some kind of weird prank?
That's how you give the poor kid a complex, which he might already have.
Yeah. Anywho, Eggman loves loudly explaining stuff to his robots and insulting them. In this case, a rat robot to rob the bank.
It's not an E series, surprisingly.
Yeah, it's a Ben series.
Ben 728? What is that a reference to something?
I feel like it is, but I'm not sure what.
Weird. Anyway, we're gonna take a beach trip. That's what the Thorndice are planning. They're gonna take everybody to the beach except Sonic, who hates the beach, and I also don't like the beach.
It's coarse, rough, and gets everywhere.
I didn't say sand, but also yes, that is why.
What is a beach but just a ton of sand?
Exactly, and a bunch of salty water.
I went to a beach once. I don't remember where it was. It was in California, but they didn't have sand. It was teeny tiny little pebbles.
That sounds worse.
That was a trick. That wasn't a real beach.
No, they were like
there's
so
beaches in New
small.
York
They
that
were
are
like
concrete.
kind of. They were all really smooth. They were
So
like
it was just really big
beads.
sand.
I mean,
Oh yeah, actually, you could have misidentified it. Yeah.
if you say
It
that
was
it's really big
gross
sand,
sand.
then I'm not going to tell you you're wrong because that's what sand is. But it felt better than that. Anyway, this is nonsense. The point is, they got to get some money from the bank to go to the beach. So we can see how these plot lines are going to converge here.
Sure, yeah, makes sense.
And it's really funny because they get to the bank and okay, well, for one thing, I like this little gag with comic book writer. I can't give you a loan unless you have a real job in the background.
Oof.
I like the guard who like just got here a few minutes ago. It's like, oh, only 7 hours and 47 minutes until quitting time.
Quitting time.
Yeah, he's only been there 13 minutes. But anyway, Eggman executes his plan to have his little rat robot rob the bank, except it's not, this is, I think, hilarious. It's not a little rat robot, it's a giant rat that breaks through the wall.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Anyway, so this was where I started wondering about continuity, because yes, Sonic runs to Angel Island, which wasn't here until the adventure arc in the show, so...
Yeah, well, and later on they'll make reference to Chaos, which means
they'll more
that...
than make reference to it.
Well, okay, yeah, but you know what I mean.
I mean, I assume this was after Angel Island had arrived, and as for the base part, that was probably just a minor mistake.
Yeah, I assume.
Yes,
I'm assuming
that
this is supposed to take place after the world started converging, but before that everyone had to go home because there was a little bit of time there.
Exactly, and if you place most of these comics there, I think mostly you'll be fine. It could just be a fluke with the base thing, but the point is Knuckles is here.
Or maybe Eggman rebuilt it.
Yeah, Knuckles is here. Yeah. That's what's important.
Knuckles is here. Yeah.
And so Sonic runs here, and Sonic's like, hey man, let's go for a run. Let's like hang out. I'm bored.
I have never in my life seen Sonic just approach Knuckles and say, let's hang out. He must really be bored.
It's so weird. It's like, yeah, no, he's never done that before. It's a bromance, you know, it's relationship building.
Yeah.
My gosh.
I gotta ramp up my SonKnux shipping again before we get to Frontiers. But Knuckles is tsundere. He doesn't care if it doesn't involve the Master Emerald. And then he jumps into the sky. Where's he going? That's the edge of the island.
He'll just jump off and then glide and grab onto the side of Angel Island and then
he's just doing this because like Sonic can't glide. He can't follow me if I do this.
Yeah, I guess.
So Eggman rampages through the bank and has Pack-Rat-Bot aim its missiles at the money vault. It punches Tanaka in the face.
Always seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, but Amy stops the robot with her hammer, which randomly changes size. How does she lodge it between the missiles on its back? That thing is huge.
It's not her hammer, it's her mallet. She only calls it a mallet for some reason in this story. I don't know why.
Joe Edkin is why. They don't call it the Pico Pico hammer in Sonic X, so you know, if they only watch the show.
That's true, yeah.
Anyway, the point is that makes the missiles explode right on Eggman. But the robot then knocks away the hammer so she can't get it. And look, now it's tiny again. That doesn't make any sense. Whatever.
Just don't question it.
Sam Speed starts heading toward the bank because he is a cop. It's easy to forget that, but he is.
Yeah, sometimes. Not
that it matters because Sonic gets there first. Just to save the day in the nick of time before it gets Amy.
I did like this moment a few minutes ago after the hammer gets knocked away when Eggman is like debating, should I just take the money and run? Or should I attack Tails and Amy? He's like, nah, I'll definitely attack Sonic's friends, my longtime enemies first, and then take the money. Very in character.
Well, you want to know what I like, and by that I mean don't like? Cream is with them at the bank here. The second that Amy's hammer gets knocked away, she disappears from this issue. She's just not there for the entire rest of the story.
I didn't even notice.
They just stopped drawing her in.
I mean, to be fair, it's not like she's doing anything, so why would we notice?
Well, it's like everybody else gets in, though.
Cream isn't much of a fighter, to be fair, so...
Well, I know, but it's like they just don't draw her.
I know. I guess because they're only drawing the characters involved in the action.
It makes sense. She probably just left.
Maybe. Deleted from existence. Anyway, Sonic attacks the robot. He gets roughed up a bit. Tails has, I guess, an entire bag of rings. It's not like the show ever explained this, but this is different.
I mean, it makes sense that you make a whole collection. It'd be annoying to just, like, always have one ring in your bag and then have to replace it.
Yeah, but it means that the missiles hit Tails and knock all his rings on the ground. That's the closest thing it ever did to being in the games.
That is funny.
They all land, standing up as well.
Oh, yeah, that's actually an extremely subtle detail. Okay, they're actually on the ground flat later. So that was actually just a fluke. I can't give them full credit for that.
Well, they also completely changed size in that scene because when Eggman picks them up, they're all tiny.
Maybe Eggman's just that big.
No, because his hands in the Sonic character hands are usually about the same size.
I guess.
Anyway, it's funny because when he knocks them on the ground, Eggman treats this as like an "I have you now" moment. Sonic just picks one up though. He beats the crap out of the bot, and its head comes off, and Sonic pulls his head off to show it's actually a proper badnik. It has a little mouse inside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think any of his robots in X were.
Nope.
Right? Yeah. They were just robots.
But Eggman steals some of the rings and then gets out of there, which you'd think he would do that at some point in the show, but nope. But now he has.
Yeah, that was already an interesting development.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
well, this comic is taking it in a little different directions, I guess.
I can
sometimes.
appreciate that.
yeah. Sam shows up way too late, and then for some reason President Mike is here to congratulate Sonic for saving the bank and say, "Hey, we've got a mission for you." And it's like, what? I don't owe you shit.
Sonic even salutes him for some reason.
Yeah.
See, I figure Sonic is like, well, that was the last bit of excitement I'm probably going to get for several weeks, so sure, I'll take a mission.
You know what?
Yeah.
Fair enough, actually. Yeah.
No, you know what this is? It's a cultural difference because in the Japanese cartoon, Sonic is constantly disrespecting the president, but this is an American comic book.
Oh my gosh.
Hail to the chief or something. I don't know.
No Jerome Wise, but
Damn.
he was homeless by this point in the show, so that makes sense.
All the more reason we should see what he's up to.
Also, hi, Cross-Eyed Rouge and Topaz.
I don't know what it is, but Topaz looks a lot different here. It's probably just the art style.
President Mai looks weird too, so it's fine.
Yeah, but he's at least recognizable as the president.
Anyway, Eggman had Deco and Boko do something with a sunken ship, and he's going to use the ring somehow. And yes, this is a serialized narrative, so we're not we're just going to continue, I guess.
Wow.
I do appreciate that.
And it's fine as a standalone, just wacky little Sonic X story on its own. So.
Sure.
Mhm.
But yes, moving ahead into Sonic X number 2, and we're in the era of covers not really relating to the issue at all.
Yeah.
Amy's not even in this one.
Yeah.
But we are moving ahead with C Sonic, C Battle, C Sonic, C Battle. Joe Edkin and Tim Smith III, just like the other one. President Mike sends Sonic on a mission to find a Chaos Emerald in a sunken ship, but things are a little different from the last time that happened.
Things are a little different from the last time the president asked Sonic to go on a mission, too, because they redrew all these panels for some reason, even though it's like the same scene.
Oh yeah.
And
It looks
Topaz
completely
looks even
different
weirder
now.
now. So does the president. Chuck looks a little better. But yes, Sonic is also way too comfortable just jumping in the water.
Mm.
Like, they gave him a breathing mask, but still, he's doing it alone. No Tails or Amy.
This is a consistent inconsistency across the series, where sometimes Sonic just doesn't really care about water all that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess Rouge and Topaz are joining him underwater, but it's funny because Chris is like, "Hey, didn't we do this episode already?" So it's like, oh, I wonder what our twist is gonna be.
And yeah, this is a moment where I'm like, okay, so obviously they're acting like the show's canon, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But there's a sunken pirate ship from Captain Seamus Red-Eye MacGuffin. MacGuffin.
MacGuffin.
My gosh.
But yeah, they'd been detecting readings that they think are a Chaos Emerald in there, so go check it out. Yeah, they go underwater. Topaz, again, looks especially weird in the underwater gear. Maybe it's just because I can't see her face with the mask on, but...
No, she barely looks like Topaz.
How come she's the only one wearing goggles anyway?
That's a good question, actually.
Sonic characters don't need goggles. They can just fall in water and, traverse through stages just
I guess they
fine.
don't need fucking spacesuits, so maybe. Also, it's funny because they're doing all this establishing stuff, and then they show one shot of Knuckles just to inform you that he will be in this story at some point.
I mean, better than them showing up out of nowhere in the middle of the action.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair ugh. Yeah. They just, conveniently, they're near Angel Island.
But Eggman reveals his robot of the week. They're big dragon bots, he calls them, and they're powered by rings, so that's what he did with those.
Yeah, put them in batteries, slapped his face on them, and called it a great genius invention. Of course.
Yeah, they're not just powered by rings. He made specifically ring batteries, which is funny because they look like just regular ass AAAs with Eggman faces.
Yeah, they're Eggman AAAs. I want a set.
Honestly, yeah branded batteries would be funny.
I would buy lots of Eggman branded things. I have an Eggman bumper sticker.
I'd brand my car with an Eggman logo. I'd get rid of the Ford logo.
Yeah, that would be an improvement.
Yeah. Oh, but also, Eggman, he got the drop on them. He put the Chaos Emerald energy signature reading is fake.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the difference between a Chaos Emerald's energy readings and just a few rings would be noticeable, but I
To
guess if
be
they don't really
fair,
know what they're doing.
I was gonna say, to be fair, it's the government that picked it up, not Sonic and Friends. So
Oh
why
yeah,
would
the
they
government
know?
is hopeless. That's true.
Also, it's right around here that I finally get to learn which one's Deco and which one's Boko because they refer to each other.
Oh yeah,
I never figured that out while watching Sonic X because I think they're always together.
yeah. They almost always just call them Deco and Boko, and then show a shot of two of them at once.
Exactly. It's like I don't know which one's which. I think I did look it up while we were watching X, but I blocked all of X out.
I had to look up which one was Deco when I talked about his hot dog head in the first issue. So, anywho, so they are underwater. They are in the sunken ship. Rouge finds a box that she thinks would have the emerald because it's glowing, but she doesn't get a chance because Shark crashes through. A just regular ass shark. Eggman didn't even do this one. There's just a shark here with a bone to pick.
I mean, sharks. No, sharks are pretty passive usually.
Yeah, I mean it is a cartoon, so like of course the
This is
shark
just an
attacks
ass.
them.
This is just an asshole shark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they gotta fight a shark. You get to see a shot of Sonic punching a shark.
Hell yeah!
I
You managed
like
to get
the
a shark
face
to
that it
purse
makes.
its lips. Yeah, you managed to get a shark to purse its lips.
Yeah. Chris immediately assumes it's the ghost of Captain Red Eye, which is a ridiculous thing to assume. And then it's funny because as they're fighting the shark, Topaz is like, "I've got to help, but I don't have anything to use as a weapon." And then a mysterious pair of glowing eyes hands her a candelabra.
At first, I thought that was one of Eggman's robots or
I
something.
kind of thought it was
but-
Eggman.
Also, I feel like it's really hard to swing something to hit something underwater.
Yeah, you can't really swing with a whole lot of force underwater because water has a lot of resistance.
Yeah. Deco poses kind of a good question here, which is why doesn't Eggman use the ring energy just with his own power? And then he says they only work on Sonic's genetics. Come on.
Okay.
Okay, what?
So that feels like they're implying that Tails created the rings in this universe, which I don't think X ever really. It didn't feel like the show ever implied.
I don't know if it
Okay.
means Tails made them, but
Why would they only work with Sonic's genetic code then?
Yeah,
I don't
because that was a thing in normal Archie
Yeah.
comics, and I accepted that because it was an invention of Chuck,
Right.
and
that
he
makes
did that
sense.
just so like no one else could abuse the power, I
Yeah.
assume, or something.
That makes
Um,
sense.
that makes sense, but in this continuity, like what? Why?
The only way that
in
would make
fact,
sense is if Tails made the ring.
yeah, is that even correct? Did no one else use rings in Sonic X the show?
I feel like someone did, but I don't know who it would have been. Maybe
I don't
Knuckles?
remember any other character using them. They definitely used rings to power things, because I remember that
That's
episode where
true.
Sonic gets frozen and they plug a ring into a fucking electrical plug and it looks really stupid to heat him up.
That's
Well,
right.
that's consistent because even in Archie Sonic, that
Rings
was
can
how
power
you
stuff.
could,
That's
yeah, rings
fine.
can always power things.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And in Archie, I might add the inconsistency because people definitely other characters in Sonic use rings in Archie. Because I remember Antoine doing it once.
True.
So honestly, I can't remember. Archie is such a saga. I thought at some point they changed the rules, and there was some stupid reason for it.
They might have explained it. I actually don't know now that you're saying it.
Well, as Lauren pointed out, Archie's such a saga; it's hard to remember.
Yeah.
But
Because I don't
figured that-
think Chuck made the ones in like that Naugus fight where Sonic and Tails used them, but
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, at some point it was changed or retconned or something. I was only talking about the very start of Archie.
sure, fair enough.
How
Fair
it
enough.
worked.
Right.
and
Yeah.
It felt like they were doing that here, but usually Sonic X, I thought, defers to like game rules. So
Usually
this felt
it
very
does.
strange.
Well,
Well,
maybe this is a leftover from the fact that this is still connected to Archie Sonic.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. And of course, even if you say defer to the games, it's not like the games know what the fuck they're doing with rings.
No, of course.
Yeah, I
Um,
was just saying the rules of the world, and clearly in the games you can play as people other than Sonic who can use ring.
Yeah. So, with all that being said, Eggman, so he has rings power the robots, but he also is putting animals inside them, and he says they'll be piloting it.
Yeah, they're piloting for some reason.
Yep,
Which
that's,
is
that's how it
new?
works in these comics.
Yeah, that's just
Okay, so the mouse was the
new.
one firing the missiles last time?
Does Eggman have to
Better
just
believe
find
it.
evil animals?
Well,
If
so
so, he
we'll
should
see
just use
later. It
exclusively
obviously
small
affects their
dogs.
brains in some way, which is makes it funny that he gets Komodo dragons to power the dragon robots. I think of it as similar to just Badnik stuff anyway. Like maybe it hooks into your brain to use your neural patterns for better accuracy or something.
I always just
Right.
got the impression the animals are there as a power source.
Yeah, but
That's
he's using
definitely
ring
how it.
batteries.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a second. Okay, I mean that I think that's how it works, but now I'm like, wait a second, but like that was a major plot point in Sonic Adventure that no, the animals do have an effect on the robots
That's
somehow.
true.
Well, they can. They don't
They
always.
can. Right.
I don't know. I'm not
Hmm.
gonna get too deep in the weeds. We got to keep this thing moving.
Yeah.
So the shark bites through the candelabra, but breaks all its teeth in the process. Then Rouge calls Topaz old, which is just very rude. You can't be more than a few years apart. She looks like she had to still be in her 20s in the show.
Yeah, yeah.
Knuckles witnesses Eggmen flying to their location with the Dragon Bots and gives chase. And good God, those things are enormous.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting them to be anywhere near that big.
They are big enough to send the raft with Chris, Chuck, and Tails on it flying on impact, which means they're probably making the entire aircraft carrier they're next to like lurch.
I find it
Yeah.
funny that yeah, the people in the raft fly off, and then Tails like helps and Knuckles helps them over to the shore, and then Eggman's like, "Oh, okay, good job, you saved yourselves. But what about your friends?" As if that was apparently intentional to knock them over, but like he didn't try very hard. Why didn't he send the robots at them? Like, I guess maybe that was completely incidental. He took credit for it.
Haha, you've fallen for my trap and you mildly tripped on the sidewalk. You didn't fall over, but it was all my plan. Yeah, so the Robo Dragons attack underwater. Damn, they got there fast. And they can't do much to them, but don't worry, Knuckles is here to help, and then he also can't do much to them.
At one point, Topaz gets knocked away, and then Rouge is like considering like whether she should try to go for the Chaos Emeralds, and she's like, "Nah, the Emerald will have to wait. I won't let that monster hurt Topaz," which proves that they have to be a thing because there's no other way that Rouge would possibly pass up getting an Emerald.
Yeah. No, this comic is definitely doing more with the Rouge Topaz ship than this show ever did.
Well,
so I'm kind of looking forward to that.
It's funny because they also divert that in the weirdest of ways, which is that when Knuckles shows up to save them, Topaz says, "I can see what Rouge finds appealing about Knuckles. If he were human, I'd be attracted to him." Don't say that!
That's...
Okay, A, weird. B, he's not an adult. He is a teenager.
Knuckles is 16?
Yep.
15? Yeah, 16.
Or at least he was. I don't know what the fucking age is.
Yeah, the ages
We're not getting
really
into
matter.
Sonic age discourse, but don't do that. Creepy.
Yeah.
Maybe
just assume they're all underage.
Let's just assume that this is
Rouge.
Topaz being so overcome with her feelings for Rouge that she momentarily slips into her mindset. Anyway, some kind of fucking ghost pirate pulls the battery on one robot out to free Sonic, so we are dealing with actual pirate ghosts here. It wasn't just some fluke that they gave Topaz the candelabra. And then everyone dogpiles the other one. Sonic gets the rings out of the battery. How do they fit in there? I don't know what Eggman did to put them in there. I assumed that he, like melted them down or something, but no, they just pop out full size.
Also, Sonic's, as soon as he pulls the batteries out, these Komodo dragons are ejected. Komodo dragons I don't think they can swim from this deep. Sonic just killed those Komodo dragons, I think.
It's like in the games when you defeat a badnik and then the animal falls in water or worse, like lava.
Yeah,
but
like
no, they're fine. No one ever dies.
Yeah, no one ever dies. It's fine.
Yeah, the narration goes, "Can the combined power of our heroes stop the robot?" And then the very next page, they're already home. They're already done. They
ran out of pages. What an Archie classic.
It does feel like that.
What an Archie classic.
But yes, they won. There was no Chaos Emerald, so it was just a trap, but they survived. Eggman flies away, and that treasure chest that Rouge found is just full of seashells. And hey, look, it's the ghost pirate who helped them. And I want to note, he says, "That be the most fun I've had since I crossed the Grand Line." That's a fucking One Piece reference. In 2005, the era of 4Kids One Piece.
Oh my.
Oh, okay.
Also,
that's wild.
crossing the Grand Line isn't that impressive. It's a line. Like, okay, you gotta get through the calm belt with all the sea monsters, but going horizontally isn't a big deal. It's because you have to circumnavigate the world with it. This guy's a fucking fraud.
Look, it was 4Kids One Piece didn't run for that long, right? Maybe that was the most important thing that happened in it.
They made it all of 3 islands in before it ended, and the fucking I don't know if I've mentioned this, the hilarious thing about the 4Kids One Piece dub is that they end with the start of Skypiea where a ship falls out of the sky and almost hits them, but they end that on the cliffhanger in 4Kids One Piece, so the implication is that all the Straw Hats died at the end.
Damn!
Maybe that's how this guy died.
Oh yeah, it works.
Anyway, this issue was fine, it was silly.
Yeah.
But now we are getting to the second half of the original miniseries, which wasn't even a miniseries by this point. But we're getting to the second half of the initial arc, where we're actually connected a little bit more for these 2 issues. It's starting with Sonic X number 3, and sure looks like Cream and Rouge are on the cover. They don't have much to do with this story.
This is why I was thinking these are all just screenshots from or like composites from the show.
Well, so this shot with Sonic running and with the scary Eggman eyes in the background, there is a piece of promotional art that looks just like that, but it's not this. This is definitely still Spazion.
I'm sure Spazion just had no idea what these stories were supposed to be.
I mean, probably.
They probably wasn't a very long turnaround. I mean, I'd be willing to bet that Tim Smith III, part of the reason that he was good was because he was very fast at drawing. I bet these issues were rushed in general.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, this story is called Field Trip of Doom! What is this, an Invader Zim episode title? Anyway, same guys. Dr. Eggman unleashes a daring distraction plan to keep Sonic at bay while deploying a new power source for his robots. Human life!
Oh gosh.
Oh boy.
And hey, I love this opening shot. We have Sonic and Emerald Coast being attacked by orcas, multiple of them at once, going, "I hate the beach," with a smile on his face.
I feel this is confusing because he's just thinking it. But if he had said "I hate the beach" out loud, that would make way more sense because it would be like a total sarcastic remark. Because I feel like he'd be totally into like being chased by killer orcas. Like he definitely just came here to be like, I wonder if I'll get in danger if I go to the beach because danger always lurks at the beach apparently.
Yeah, he's not here by choice, thankfully. Apparently Eggman kidnapped Cheese, so Sonic needs to get them back.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And hey, Sonic X versions of Kiki Badniks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so by this point I realized, okay, they're actually integrating like, more game mechanics. Because yeah, we had the Badniks being powered by animals, and then just game Badniks here.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Also, I brought up the teacher robot. There's a cameo from here where Eggman schools the Goonbots on his plan. And as much as I was jerking around continuity when I was talking about this, I can believe that he rebuilt that robot just to do this bit.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
So, Bokun is delivering a special new fuel injector to Sam for some reason.
When I saw Bokun, I was like, I blocked this character out of my mind. I can't believe the memories are coming back now.
It's like, oh god, he's still there.
He's very odd, yes. Also, did he always have a letter M on his stomach?
I think he did.
Okay. What does that stand for? I guess they called him Messenger Robo early on, so is that why?
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely had the M in the show.
Okay, well, let's not think about that too much. Sonic goes up against more stage gimmicks. We've got Buzz Bombers, and we've got those wrecking balls from the Emerald Coast levels, and he brings up Green Hill, but that's not a continuity error because Cream brought it up in the
Sure.
Cruise Liner episode. Also, I guess it wouldn't matter because the home planet is never developed in Sonic X.
Yeah.
We see more stuff getting delivered. President Mike gets a new recliner chair. Topaz gets a laptop, and a basket of fruit goes to Mr. Stewart. Oh, God.
I'd like to point out that the gift to Topaz is ostensibly from Rouge, which would only be marked as such if that was a believable thing to put on there.
Anyway, Sonic destroys an egg capsule, just like in the games. It's got tiny animals in it, and it's got cheese in it. The chow. It's not just full of like mozzarella.
It's full of cheddar.
I mean, that'd be a weird, like, surreal gag that if you wanted to make like a fan game, you you hit the capsule button and just a giant just. Bleh.
That is a great idea, honestly.
Anyway, they keep doing all these flashes to all the Boken gifts because they've got something insidious about them. It's the same thing as last time. They're putting them in the robots. And they spoil a later part of this episode by showing the lunar lander here, which you would never know was going to be a relevant factor. Anyway, Chris's class has a field trip to a science museum. We went a lot of, we went on a lot of field trips to science museums back in school. A lot of OMSI visits.
Yeah, we did. It was always
It's a space museum. I guess OMSI is a very Oregon-centric joke, but
it's fine, Now they get to know where we live, even though I think we've referenced Oregon before.
yeah. No, everybody knows that we're Oregonians. Because we're talking about fucking rain all the time. Anyway, yes, all the other gifts that aren't... All the gifts that aren't from Rouge to Topaz are addressed as being from Dr. Ufham, and Stuart is so fucking incompetent he can't tell it's French for egg man. Also, he takes the basket of fruit with him to the Space Museum, which is weird.
Snacks for the kids on the bus.
I guess.
Or for lunch.
Anyway, so they get to the Space Museum. They have the kids running around and climbing on shit. This is a terribly behaved class.
Yeah, that is awful. If we did that at OMSI, we would have been kicked out.
Yeah, I just went to the computer lab to play Tasty Planet.
Oh yeah, that was the best.
I forgot OMSI even has a computer lab because I don't think it's there anymore.
That was how I played Portal the first time and got scared of it because I didn't understand that GLaDOS's threats were a joke.
Oh.
Anyway, Eggman sets the plan in motion and robots attack the Space Museum. Oh no, Sonic has to protect children. The cops are called. Chris and Amy get stuck in a hole in the floor.
Yeah, it's just kind of happens. Where'd the hole come from?
So one of the robots has a buzzsaw that cuts into it, but it's just a giant ass hole in the floor. It's like, is there a second floor down there? I guess not, because you can't just run to somewhere else.
It's yeah, that's an odd one.
Buzzsaws don't really dig.
True.
But yeah, big action scene, big fight goes down, and one of the robots kidnaps Danny and Francis. Except they call them Daniel and Francine. They don't call them that in the show.
I noticed that. Oh my god.
I just assumed I've blocked Sonic X out of my brain. I just thought that was their names.
Yeah, I think the comic just got their names wrong. I mean, Danny is short for Daniel, obviously, but is Francis ever short for Francine? I don't think that's usually true in real life.
Could be, but I've never heard it.
Francis is usually like a full name.
Yeah.
It's using their fucking government names. Anyway, Sam catches up to the armored car they escape in, but he goes too fast with the fuel injector and drives off a cliff.
This is why we don't take car parts from random robots.
Yeah. His car has a parachute, and Sonic doesn't really care about Sam anyway, so he just goes after.
That's fair, to be honest.
But the rumor come out. The ruse is revealed. Eggman activates the car, the chair, the fruit basket, the laptop, and the lunar lander, which for some reason has that.
I didn't even think about that.
I guess he knew they were taking a field trip today.
Well, he told them to go there. I think.
Yeah, he did.
Earlier they
or
stated
he sponsored it or something.
he was sponsoring it. Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, but why the lunar lander specifically, though? How do you know Chris would be hiding underneath that?
Eggman is really smart, except when he isn't. He foresaw this exact moment.
Well, when I saw the big shot with all the different things, there was a shot of Chris like throwing a football to Danny. I thought the football was going to be bugged.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
Yeah, but when they activate, right, Sonic the comic style robo tentacles grab them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I thought the same.
Yeah, so they're badnik fodder now.
Damn.
Yeah, that's something that I always thought Eggman should do at some point, but he just never did. So yeah, finally they're doing that.
Yeah, this is the first time we've ever seen humans in badniks, isn't it?
Yeah, this is actually kind of an interesting concept.
So it's funny because, this all happens while they think they're winning. Amy beats up a robot, Tails pulls some exposed wiring out of another and thankfully doesn't die from electrocution.
Yeah, well, while he's...
Tails knows what they're doing.
He's doing that while he's standing in water also, so that might actually be grounding him.
But gasp, yes, there is another robot behind him, one of the human ones. Boy, is it, you're gonna have to be paying very close attention to tell which robot has which human, because it's hard to tell, especially in the second issue here.
I'm gonna
Oh,
be
yeah.
honest. Yeah, the only one I really paid attention to was the only one I paid attention to was the one that had Chris in it, and later Topaz when I realized which one she was in.
Yeah. Chris is in the one that points missiles at Tails and Amy.
Damn.
And that's the cliffhanger. It's a two-parter.
Yeah, I didn't expect that initially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two-parter is a little surprising.
Yep, so continuing into issue 4 here. Okay, you know what? Fair enough. This one actually does look like it could relate to the story.
Yeah, except the tornadoes here.
You're
I
right.
think the tornado does show up, doesn't it?
The X tornado.
Yeah, it does.
Does Chuck fly the X tornado in this episode? Wow. Yeah, no, yeah. This
Here's
is
the thing, though.
basically
Here's the
comic
thing,
book.
though. The X tornado does show up. That's not the X tornado on the cover.
No, it isn't. That's just the tornado.
Oh, well, they were very close.
They're close.
That's the better plane anyway.
Yeah, screw the X tornado.
Anyway, boisterous bot battle. Joe Edkin and Tim Smith III. Sonic and friends struggle to face off against robots with their human friends trapped inside. And then the first 3 pages recap everything that we already talked about. In fact, they recap issue 1 as well.
Yeah, as if it all was building up and mattered, which not really.
I mean, this was meant to be the end of a
Okay,
miniseries,
man.
so I kind of get it.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. I like that the narrator specifies that Chris is Sonic's best human friend specifically.
Well, to not intrude on
make it
Tails.
slightly believable, although I don't know about that. Yeah.
Well, Chris is the needier kid. I suppose you could argue
Yeah.
that that's why Sonic hangs out with him more than Tails.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Chris Bot shoots some missiles, Sonic dodges, but the missiles fly all the way out of the city and almost hit Knuckles somehow.
Well, so I thought that these were actually being aimed intentionally at Angel Island because they talk about how they're headed towards Angel Island. It seems really improbable that was by accident. I assumed Eggman made this whole plan and there was like, you know what? I'm also going to harass Knuckles because why not?
I mean, maybe, but all this does is alert Knuckles to his position and he starts going there. The other robots show up, and Sonic is about to smash them all up, but Rouge is here to inform him that there are people inside.
Okay, these are some pretty bizarre robot designs, I must say, even by X standards.
Yeah, these do not feel like Eggman robots.
No, they feel very much like we told an Archie comics artist to design some robots, complete with the one robot that has a woman inside being the only one that has boobs.
I was gonna point that out.
Okay, Topaz's robot is straight up just roboticized Topaz. Like,
Yeah, it's effectively
actually.
just her in a robot suit.
Yeah, it's the most human looking out of them.
Yeah.
I guess if you wanted to argue that Eggman would design a robot like that, but maybe Sonic X Eggman would. He is the one who commented on Rouge's boobs.
That's fair.
Anyway, let's get off this subject. The heroes cannot do much without hurting their friends. So we've got a dilemma on our hands here.
Probably hurt them and just explain, and they know what's going on. If you hurt them, they'd probably, unless it's killing them, they'd probably understand.
I'm hurting you because I love you. Also, the way that
not
Rouge
like
proves
that.
this to Sonic is that the laser fired by Chris's robot writes his name on the floor.
Which does, I guess, mean that Chris has some level of control over it.
Well, we're gonna see.
Yeah.
They're gonna explore that a little bit here.
Yeah.
There's a neat little bit of continuity in here in between the fighting where they ask, how did Eggman get the money to build these? And then they do. It's like 4 panels long, but it's a flashback that amounts to, I robbed a Home Depot.
I love that Eggman, his first thought, instead of just printing his own money, would have been trying the barter system.
With rotten cabbage.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like preceding this flashback. Eggman declares, "Isn't it wonderful? Everything's going exactly to plan." And then Deco is like, "How unusual, sir."
Yeah, how unusual.
Yeah. So, yeah, he robbed a Home Depot because the cabbage didn't work. It's green and floppy, right? That counts as money. No, and, Eggman's winning. It's all going wrong.
It's all coming up Eggman style.
Sonic does manage to get one ring to get free of a net, but still isn't really helping. And, Knuckles shows up, and I want to note that this panel of Knuckles arriving, everything looks like shit in it.
Yeah, not amazing.
Sonic's face is
Yeah.
bad, Rouge's face is bad, and Knuckles appears to be styling his hair like a punk rocker.
Rouge is also giving Knuckles lovey eyes.
She got the hard eyes, yeah, or hearts next to her eyes.
Yeah, that's a little over the top, a little more than usual.
I want the like Sonic visual novel spin-off where you're just playing as Rouge and you have to decide between Knuckles and Topaz.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, Sonic holds the robots off, and Tails is gonna try and steal the remote controlling them. And well, Tails gets his hand on the remote, but he forgets that Eggman is strong as shit, and he just pulls it away.
I like that Tails gets all before that. Tails got all pouty when Sonic didn't give him a job.
Yeah, why don't I have a thing to do? Sonic and friends, they keep trying to do this, like, I know you're in there moments to Chris and Topaz, and I like that Tails says, I'd vote for you if I could, to the president's robot.
Yeah, not quite sure how you turn them around, so they don't even try, really.
Yeah. Also, Rouge makes a comment about Topaz's butt. We see you, Rouge. In any case, Chris does manage to fight off the control a little bit and stop attacking Sonic. So he's like, I don't know, it's weird. It's like he's just thinking it really hard. So I guess
Yeah,
that
I mean,
amounts.
That does show that they have some amount of control.
Well, no,
Yeah,
we
I
understand
mean-
they have autonomy. I just don't know how it works.
Yeah.
Because, like, was it
Well,
controlling your thoughts up to this point, or do you have to think it even harder? Because I feel like he'd be thinking it as hard as he possibly could most of the time.
Look, it's just a trope with mind control. It's fine. You accept it. You can't break it immediately. You have to have it at a dramatic moment.
He's got to lower the health bar on the mental control. Yeah.
There you
Exactly.
go. Yeah.
It's weird that, like, it's weird though that the Knuckles and Amy say, Chris, think about what you're doing. Think about how many times Sonic has saved your life. They make it seem like he's, like, acting irrationally and needs to be reminded. But I do like that Eggman's order is squeeze him like a lemon, and Sonic says, Chris, you know I hate lemonade.
News to me. That's a Sonic fact right there.
The deep
Yeah.
lore.
There you go. Yeah.
But, yes, he does fight off the control and stop attacking Sonic. The ones for Stuart and Sam attack instead. Yes, this is where the X-Tornado shows up, piloted by Chuck. And hey, Cream, you're in this issue, apparently.
Yeah. You know, she's the main character sometimes.
We can take the child to a war zone.
I got really excited for a second because Cheese takes the initiative, opens the hatch, and flies up, and I'm like, oh, Cheese is gonna clean house. They're gonna tear through everything. No, not quite. But they are still surprisingly effective here.
Yeah, they fly into the robot and take the helmet off the president. So like that's still pretty effective.
Yeah, that's Cheese payoff for Sonic saving them earlier in the story.
It's true. Yeah.
So Chris manages to take manual control of his robot and attack the other two, while Sonic fights Topaz. And this makes Eggman decide enough is enough. I'm just gonna hit the self-destruct button to kill everyone, which is that's more hardcore than anything he did in the cartoon.
Yeah.
I think the closest thing he ever did to trying to kill Chris in the show was try to get him off of his flying whatever when he was too high up.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But this time, Tails does get the remote, and the heroes free everyone.
I mean, of course, we can't let them let Eggman win and kill everyone.
I mean, I didn't expect that to happen. But yes, Eggman runs off, and the day is saved, and we do have a clean break in the story. And Scarlett Garcia, your hair is supposed to be redder than that.
Only thing I really noticed about her though,
No, I mean, it's pretty commonplace to have a news anchor do some narration.
Sure, yeah.
And yeah, that's where the OG miniseries would have ended, and you can kind of feel how it's, it's a culmination of what we set up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's hardly anything special, but it's not unfun.
It was fine.
It's better than a majority of Sonic X the show.
That's
Yeah, it's a weird blend, because you've got pieces of Sonic X in here, but you've got feelings of the game stuff, feelings of the Archie comics, even a little bit of Adventures of Sonic, if I'm honest.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, kinda, yeah.
Eggman's good.
True.
Yeah. Well,
Everyone
Eggman's
else is
always
kind of
good.
take it or leave it, but Eggman is usually the highlight, so.
I don't know.
Eggman's usually the highlight, so that makes sense.
But we are going to, we do 5 issues a week, and that means that Even though this is a part 1, we are going to continue for one more story tonight, starting with Sonic X number 5. And hey, a cover that meaningfully, definitely relates to the story inside.
True.
Yeah.
The perfect weapon to destroy Sonic. But this is I Never Promised You a Chow Garden, Part 1, written by Edkin, but drawn by Tracy Yardley. I think that he actually did these before the main series.
Was this title poking at Sega, who's like, I never promised you another Chow Garden?
I think it's a reference to something else that has a name kind of like that, but I don't know what.
I know, I just had to dunk on Sega because why?
Yeah. Cream and Cheese are a bit down due to not having other Chow to interact with on Earth. Unfortunately, they should be careful what they wish for, because Eggman starts selling his own Chow as pets. And gosh, Tracy Yardley is such a better artist than Tim Smith III.
Oh, yeah. Immediate art upgrade.
Sonic is saving animals from a forest fire. And,
No. He's saving, well, okay, I guess unhatched animals, technically. But one proper animal, because there is a spotted owl in this park. That's what the news person says. It's just the one spotted
Just
owl.
the
Gotta save
one
him.
spotted owl.
Yeah, I guess so. Also, Garcia's blonde now. That's even worse.
Yeah, we're going in the wrong direction there, guys.
They just dye their hair differently on different days in this comic.
Yeah, every day is a new hair color.
Yeah, no, but you're right. It's a forest fire. I gotta save the one animal here and its eggs.
Of course, yeah.
Sonic also drops an even without wings, I can still fly. So Sonic does it, and everybody cheers for him. And then Cheese is sad because she misses being around other Chow. Yeah, this is a before gender neutral Chow, but here's the thing. They say she here, and then later in this issue they say he.
Okay,
Oh.
yeah. I thought initially Cheese was supposed to be male,
I don't know.
but fairly
They-
quickly Chow became gender neutral.
I don't know. They couldn't decide. But you gotta at least keep it consistent on an issue by issue basis.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty big blunder right there.
Well, and speaking of
or
blunders,
actually, wait a minute. Maybe Chow are gender neutral and they just go by any pronoun. That's
are there
fine.
any all? Yeah.
You know what? That's fair, yeah.
I was the unwoke one. I'm sorry. Anyway,
Damn.
um,
Unwoke Devon.
speaking of blunders, Cream says that the other Chow we saw in X came to Earth from the Master Emerald, like Tikal and Chaos. That one episode with the Chow Garden had Tails and Tanaka imply that Chow can be native to Earth as well, though.
Yeah. That
But
kinda
I did
confused
remember
me.
when writing this that the line about Tanaka remembering Chow is only in the Japanese version. So it's
that's
possible
right, yeah.
that because the writers would have been going off the English dub, they just made an assumption.
Yeah, I mean that was always a weird thing anyway. So like, I don't mind them changing that.
Yeah. Either way, apparently all those Chow went back in the Emerald, which is not where Tikal and Chaos went after the SA1 arc, but
No.
okay.
Okay, yeah, I noticed this. I was like, that's strange. So in this continuity, to call it Chaos, just live in the Master Emerald and the Chow, yeah, too, apparently.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing, is that Cream gave Cheese the option of going with them, but they stayed for Cream anyway. And well, we'll see what's so weird about this later, but and I mean, this has always been the problem with Tikal and Chaos, is that the different continuities want to bring them back for different reasons. Clearly the ending of SA1 is meant to be they like ascend to the afterlife.
Yeah.
Nothing has ever stuck to that.
Of course.
Anyway, Chris relates to this. He really relates this to how lonely he was with no friends or parents except his friends and his surrogate parents and his housekeepers and grandpa.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've
his-
said enough about
His
that.
lonely
You know?
life.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's always more you can say.
Well, it's funny because then it does this whole flashback with him and Danny and Francis and even Helen, who I don't even think was his friend in the show really until the post time skip.
Yeah, I feel like they were kind of friends, but not like close.
It's like Sonic said she was in Chris's class, but they never hung out.
True.
But we
Trying
get
to
this
fix that
flashback.
because the time skip thing where they seemed like they were something didn't make sense.
True.
Yeah, I don't know. But we get this flashback to them having like a cookout, like a camping. And Chuck tells them a story about how aliens might be real. And hi, Cosmo, this is your one appearance in the entire fucking comic.
Oh, I didn't even notice that Cosmo was there.
Yeah, well, so do the writers.
That's fair, yeah.
Anyway, the story ends with them accidentally beating up Ella, thinking she's an alien. And then Chris says, now I get to live with aliens, so it's all fine. Anyway, this has very little to do with the Chow plot. Because...
Yeah, this is filler.
Yeah, Eggman's plan, now halfway into the issue, is, well, so he starts selling Chow.
I do like that. Apparently, even Eggman has a soft spot for Chow.
Yeah.
Okay, you say start selling Chow. You just skipped to that part. But okay.
Well, he's
first
going
of
to
all-
start selling Chow because we have this scene where he gets cute by Chow, and they fucking spoiled the reveal is the thing. That's part of why I didn't really mean to skip it exactly.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, I agree that, yeah, that would be better if they didn't spoil that all this was there. Honestly, I mean, Sonic isn't really good at building intrigue and mystery pretty much ever. So I this is expected. But I just wanted to talk about how wacky this is because Eggman decided I'm gonna clone Cheese.
Yes. When he kidnapped Cheese in that one issue, which I think that's a good bit of, for retroactive continuity, having him clip off a piece of Cheese's wing. For one thing, you fucking monster, but also it's a good retcon.
True, yeah, feels pretty natural actually.
Yeah, but he gets a cutting for that and cloned Chow, I guess.
Yeah, well, you see, Eggman is a fan of Chow, as we all know. So he was like, "Man, I wish I had some Chow here. It would cheer me up." And so yeah, he cloned Chow, and then only at that point then you think, "Wait a second, I have resource issues with robots, so maybe I could use the Chow." That is my headcanon. That's what happened.
Yes, and this is plan to mutate them into giant dark Chow, which we never saw any evolved Chow in the show.
Yeah, this is interesting because Eggman's like, "Oh, I altered the Chow, but clearly these are dark Chow," and it's pretty unclear. Do they ever in the series really establish dark Chow are influenced by evil, but are they themselves prone to evil acts? I never really understood if that was the
Well,
case.
so the only time the dark or hero Chow have ever existed in most Sonic stories is just as a little element of the actual Chow Garden.
Right.
It's I'm sure they appear in the IDW Chow Racing arc, where I'm pretty sure they're just another type of Chow. I don't know.
I don't know.
But yes, Eggman's plan is to sell Chow on the shopping network as harmless pets, and then use his control over their evil impulses to enslave the world. Which is kind of the exact same plan as in Ratchet and Clank 2, but I'm pretty sure that's a coincidence. This commercial is amazing.
Oh yeah.
I love Deco and Boko dressed as Cream and Chris. And apparently it works because it's you have the page where he plans it, you have the page where they do the ad, and he has his own Chow Garden and stuff. And then the very next page, fucking everybody has bought one.
Okay, hang on. Why are people buying Chow from a terrorist?
Yeah, that's true. He is a terrorist.
Why did people buy sunshine balls from him?
Sunshine Ball? Oh yeah, that's right. You're right. That was an issue in the actual show. Okay, fair enough.
Eggman, he's so charismatic that he can get a lot of people on his side. Because, why do people buy security systems and robots from Eggman,
I learn things about Sonic as we go through this podcast. I never, before we started this, I knew that Eggman was really fast. Everyone knows that. But I didn't know that Eggman was strong until this. Now, just as you're mentioning this, you're right. I think Eggman is charismatic.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
he
we
is.
love him.
Well, but in universe, I think
No, I
you're
don't.
actually right.
Yeah. No, he has a sway. He has a magnetism about him.
Yeah, he does.
Honestly, I think that it would be good if more Sonic properties included any kind of faction that likes Eggman just for himself.
Yeah, bring back the cult of Robotnik from Sonic the comic, except make it a little bit better.
Make them not
That would
horribly
be cool to-
disappointing, yeah.
Yeah, that would be a really
Yeah.
cool thing to bring back.
So now everyone has a Chow, and the heroes speculate why. I guess they didn't see the ad.
Well, it's more like what's Eggman planning for this.
Yeah, fair enough.
Right.
You're
yeah.
right. They say Eggman has to be planning something, so I'm stupid. So this gives Chris a chance to be clingy when Cream and Tails suggest, hey, maybe he found a way back to our home planet.
It is hilarious how quick Chris freaks out here. Like instantly, he's like,
Yeah, he
I don't want to
immediately goes back to clingy girlfriend.
Yeah. It's like, you know, Chris by and large is fine in these comics.
No, he hasn't been that bad.
And I would say that, like, even in like the latter half of the show, he's not particularly bad.
No, he's just
but it
kind
is
of
funny.
boring in
This
the
is
latter
almost
half.
like he reminds, like, know your fucking place. He doesn't say it like that, but that's what he means. Also, Cheese, for however he communicates with Cream, says all the Chow keep talking in a weird Chow language, weird accent, and they keep calling Cheese mother and foreshadowing the promised day. That's not ominous at all.
I love the idea that Cheese wanders around, talks to Chow, and all of them just say, "Mother, the time is almost here."
That's
Exactly.
so ominous.
I played fucking System Shock 2 recently, and I'm reminded of when you walk into a room and you get a psychic communication from the flesh saying, "Why do you follow the orders of the machine, mother?" And it's like, what the
Jesus.
fuck?
Goddamn.
Anyway, yeah, Eggman activates the Chow evil genes, and the one that Chris's mom has suddenly, activates and becomes evil. Goes berserk. It hits Sonic with a couch.
It's one way to stop Sonic, I guess.
It hits
One
all
of their
three of them with the couch, actually. But yes, Sonic ties him up with the cord of a lamp and shoves him in a trash can, which brings to mind, like, Sonic tying up that old Eggman robot with the hose in that one Archie story.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But they go out and they see that now the city is overrun with evil monster Chow, and that's our cliffhanger for the week this time.
Damn.
Nice.
And yeah, what a surreal plot to start with on our first episode of this.
This is great. I expect nothing less from Archie's version, a version of Sonic done by Archie. That is.
You know what? That's fair. Yeah.
I would say that, like, yeah, those first 4 issues are, they're okay. You know, it's nothing mind-blowing, it's fine. I think that issue 5 is a big step up, both in the art quality and in just the originality of Eggman's plan.
I liked essentially, like I said, it's essentially roboticized humans. Like that's basically what they did. I thought that was cool.
That's cool.
But yeah, definitely it's getting better.
Yeah. So I am excited to see where this goes next week. Now, can it hold all this for 8 weeks of these? I'm not sure, but I'm interested to find out. So with all that said, thank you guys for watching, and thank you my co-hosts for being here. We will see the conclusion of this epic saga next week. But for right now, if you like this episode, please feel free to share, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, criticisms, suggestions, or feedback, you can reach us at any of the links in the link tree in the description. I hope you have a great rest of your week. I hope you have a great rest of your night, and take care.